support. I'm happy that from the school of actual politics, the vice president, the man, to the emergence of a vibrant vice president from among the school of actual school, actually, may your shadow never be less. Sadly, when we got those who were ready to smile at us, that is the honest truth. This is where we are. So that as you go to vote on Saturday, remember that leaders are not elected to pray. They are not elected to be nice. They are required to be compassionate, but they are elected to be effective and efficient and to govern with the rule of law. General Muhammadu Buhari, you are welcome, sir. And in welcoming him, I welcome those of you who are joining us for the first time. And I also welcome the usual suspects. But instead of having a party, which we do, we work hard and we party hard. And I will allude to that shortly. On our leaders' birthday, we have dedicated that day every year to discussing Nigeria's problems, as you would have seen from the issues we have dealt with from which colloquium. And it has produced results. And of course, one of us is at the threshold, as Rahul said, of becoming the next vice president of Nigeria. Professor Yemi Osinbajo, senior advocate of Nigeria. Now, I was trying to get to Yemi before I get to Rahul. And please permit me. Yemi said to me that, look, how many titles does Ashwaju have? And we started counting. He's a man who has been severally honored. And he said, but this Jagaban thing, this is the one that everybody says you like. I said, yeah, that's true. He said, you know why? It sounds like trouble. And that's why people like it. Well, Ashwaju has been very healthy trouble for Nigeria. And also for bad governance in Nigeria. And may he Jagaban forever. Of course, how can I not thank Rahul for setting us all in the appropriate direction, not only with a very detailed, hands-on, knowledgeable presentation. And we must begin to tell the difference between us and the umbrella group. You must begin to. How many of their governors have you seen making such a detailed presentation, remembering his numbers? And that is at the level of chief executive, but he's down to what happens in his classroom. And not only is he feeding, he's telling you the health impact, the deficiencies, vitamins, and why they are changing. And that shows he's on top of his job. And this is the difference between us. And of course, who dances like him? And who sings like Rahul? And you see, That is the two extreme. We work very hard and we play very hard. Ralph, thank you very much. Now, today I will talk about power, and just to demonstrate what is possible. And you make the choice whether you want to see this on a larger scale. Thank you. We have decided. Thank you. Remember that in 1999, only the federal government of Nigeria could generate electricity. Remember that. It was this man who started the cruise, Ashwadi, that led to the first private sector state government partnership delivered IPP in the whole of the Federal Republic. Each of those batches then, if I recall correctly, was 9 megawatts. We wanted to do 3 batches, and the federal government said, oh, this is a brilliant idea, let us expand it and all of that. And there were conditionalities that the power would be dedicated to Lagos. They put all sorts of hurdles in the way, which, if you go back to the newspapers of that time, is very well documented. Needless to say, the power came, Lagos never got the power, it was put on the national grid, and Lagos was being made to pay for what it was not using. That was how the story began. And then, during the constitutional amendments that I think took place somewhat in 2008, 2009, or 2010, it was formally now decided that states could participate in power generation and distribution. But I will try to be simple. Power generation is not rocket science. It's just generation. So just remember and imagine that I better pass my neighbor in 1 million times its capacity, but in one place. So if you can make that size of 1 kilowatt, you can make a power turbine of 1,000 megawatts. That's as simple. And the GEs, the Siemens, the Mitsubishis of this world will deliver an average standard turbine in no more than 24 months. But the real deal is financing it. So there are many people who want to finance power into Nigeria. And we will do so, as I will show you. But the problem you will have is how do you evacuate the power? The transmission system today cannot carry what you produce. So if you produce power this big, and your cable is that thing, you will lose all the power before it gets to the back of the building. So with all the billions of dollars and all of that I have spent, the story is that we still live in darkness. Our government lies about it. But it is not because power is impossible. And so where did we start? In 2007, when you elected me, I promised that we will bring back a night economy. A night economy was dependent on security. Security was not about guns alone. It was about public illumination. And so we started a street lighting program. First, we used generators. We bought diesel. But what happened? Buildings like this started opening up in Lagos because there was a demand for events to hold. People felt safe, they were coming out. And thankfully, we see that any event that the umbrella party wants to hold, even from the top, it is Lagos to which they come. We have built more hotels because government does its work. We secure the place, we light it up. Why are the hotel brands, the Intercontinentals, the Radissons, the Orientals, the Sheratons, and the Eco hotels not opening in the capital. Something is wrong with administration there. In 5 years, to essentially summarize what has been done, we have built 5 independent power plants, starting from the Akute power plant, which powers our water works in Iju and Adi. Before then, we had 105 million gallons installed capacity at the water works, but we could never pump enough water because we were using generators and diesel. Today, we have optimized that capacity totally because we now have a dedicated power plant for the water works. And Akute and Adino are the only water works in the whole of this country that have their own dedicated power. And that's Adino phase 1. And while I'm still on Adino, I think it is important to make this very short one. We are constructing Adino phase 2. And this morning, on page 64 of the Guardian, I saw a list of accomplishments of the president in Lagos. In Lagos. There were others that they have built the road leading to the international airport. Those of you who know that road will taste the pudding. But what was instructive was that they listed Adino phase 2 water works as what the president had done in Lagos. I think that is cheap to lie about something you did not do as an achievement, and I think it is corrupt. For the record, again let me repeat, that water works is being constructed by the Lagos State government with taxpayers' money.
Let me say that one of the many characters who call themselves spokesmen of the PDP, one of them said that Ashiwaju and I struck some kind of a deal on oath, that I swore to an oath or we signed a contract that after 6 months of serving as vice president, I would then resign so that Ashiwaju can take over the position. You know, I remember I think it was 2 evenings after that came out, you know, Ashiwaju was speaking to me. I called about something and said, where did you swear this oath? Was it at, I forgot the name of that, Oguja, was it at Okija? He said, where did you swear this oath? Was it at Okija? So I said, well, they said, you are the one who, you and I swore the oath. I think that many people do not understand the man. Even that suggestion is so nonsensical, and it shows a complete lack of understanding of who this man is. In 1999, he put together a cabinet. I had never met him before. I had never spoken to him once before. He asked me to be Attorney General. He put together a cabinet of people of
progress. When we decided quickly about the matter, those who I think know Nigerian politics more than I and some of us said it is impossible, because in Nigeria's 50 years experience of governance, partisan politics have never been able to come together and form a solidly central government. But this matter, if there are 2 people that are responsible for it, Bola Tinubu and Chiba Akande. And this is possible because of their own personal standing in their constituencies. They have served the people very well. The people have developed confidence in them. So some of us with so much luggage about explaining either religious, tribal, or regional inclinations, have to crawl between their legs to make sure that we see this matter. And one interesting thing is that nothing is done by impulse. I was corrected by Chief Akande something that in fact, since 2005, there has been half-hearted attempts to have a matter, but we never realized it. But this time, we looked at the main opposition parties, and we realized that none of them can face the PDP. And the experiences of Nigerians since PDP took over the center and most of the governments in the states is an indication of that we are going on the right course. So what did we do? We have committees that categorize the parties: ACL, ANPP, CPC, APGA, and one other party. But the problem is that the other party and the APGA have got court cases which could be used to delay the matter or even to completely frustrate it. So we put series of committees. Those committees of respective parties develop their terms of references, and then they went and they report to their party. When they report to their party, then we get together and see how we can do it. At one instance, after midnight in Hilton, this time around for the matter, I think they did a good job. And I think we got the 25 certified people, and the one very sharp, troublesome person of high-ranking membership of the party said, well, this party is a Muslim party. Akande is a Muslim. Aswadi is a Muslim. The deputy in the north was a Muslim. Buhari is a Muslim, and he kept on. But a very sharp term among us went round and saw that actually there were 17 Christians and 18 Muslims. So the matter somehow was, or the matter survived. I think this success of this matter and the position we have taken have been taken for granted. At no step have we been impulsive. People are involved, decisions are taken, and I think you are witnesses to the primaries. Look how the primaries were conducted. This particularly, I will thank Chief Femi, the former governor of Ekiti, who led that committee of the primaries. If that primaries have
party that is going to take over Nigeria positively, and particularly our candidate, the APC gubernatorial candidate, very competent, brilliant, sharp man, committed and loyal, fearful. And representing my junior brother from Ogun State is Mrs. Amos, who is equally daughter of mine. My first daughter is not Bola Fashola. And many of them who are working tirelessly and could see the deputy governor, the past deputy governor, I could see Tony Bello, and many of the brilliant conspirators for the intellectual pawns of Lagos. The party leaders from my state chairman, all the party leaders of the APC Lagos State, let me thank all of you for the steadfastness, great commitment, and value-added action that you have been taking. I've been going about believing that you are working really hard, and all the indication is that you are going to shine brighter and better and produce the highest number of votes come Saturday. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I cannot be short today because I'm highly charged up to discuss the fact that we have an election on Saturday, which I believe it is the people's time that has come. The title of my paper is "The People's Time Has Come. Common Sense Revolution." We have reached a point where we must make a point. History beckons. We must either answer it well or not at all. To respond wisely is to open ourselves to a better future. The elections are set for March 28th for the presidential, the senatorial, and the House of Reps. These elections will determine the fate of